Like, why are you on my live still? If I'm not worth your time, you came to my live. I didn't come to your live. What's up, OG? You have some facts to say. I didn't say anything rude. I really don't care right now. Honestly, don't care. What's up? What's up so long? What happened before? I don't have a lot of patience for shit. So, what's up, Prophet? What's up?
Yo,
What's going on?
I'm curious, what made you pick this as a prompt? Like, do you be hearing people say this or hint towards this?
Here to say what?
Like that they grandma lying or something?
Yeah, there's people that say that on here.
Word. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I be telling people, like, yeah, my grandma be saying that my great grandma, her mom was Native American and shit, but like I don't be knowing how true that shit is. I ain't gonna lie. And yeah, like that's crazy. I wish I could have some proof, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What up, y'all?
All right. What's up, Naturalista? All right, you can come up here, Sheriff, if you're still here. Like, you can
Yeah,
come up.
my grandma, my people's always said something about us having some kind of native in our bloodline.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe y'all can help me understand what were they meaning when they were saying these things.
Do you believe it? Do you believe you got Native in your bloodline?
Is that
Well,
towards hybrid or me?
Looking a hybrid.
the Native American people we see today, I'm not too sure because some people say, yeah, some people say that the BLK people are the Native people, so I'm confused about that part. And then when my people say that they had Native in their blood, I'm not too sure if they talking about the Native American people of today, the people that we see that has that title today. I'm not too sure if they was talking about.
How would they be any different though? You get what I'm saying? Like Native American is a culture also, you know what I'm saying? So it seemed like the color of that culture either changed or we just being lied to about black people having any connection to the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day. And so my only question is like if Native Americans used to have melanin in their skin, like predominantly, how did it get to a point where they look like a European pretty much? Or, a modern day Spanish person maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like how I get to that point? Like did they steal the culture or something and was cosplaying or something, you know what I'm saying? Like and kick all
Well,
that
a lot of
the culture.
the footage, like growing up in school when we was taught about like the history of the Americas or Native American, maybe they looked dark skinned, but I don't think that can play a role because videos. I don't know. Like I'm confused on who is the true Native people because, like I said, growing up when we watch like videos of the Million Mile March or you know what I'm saying or the Long Walk, they maybe it was the quality of the video that made them look darker. They're just taking up on they end the Native American people we see today.
Yeah, I'm just a bit congested, bro. But yeah, go ahead, y'all can finish.
Yeah, so but they was always a thin, skinny type, tall type, like copper color people that we seen. So I'm not too sure if that was black people at the time or if that was just the quality of the video that made them look darker. You know, because we living in today's age to where the video quality is it's a little bit more enhanced. Like for us, the quality of the video is more HD, is more better, more clear. You know, we talking about a time where there wasn't even color to TV yet. So everybody was gray and black.
Hell nah, you can see the difference between a white person and a black person on them TVs though, bro. Bro, you could.
Get everyone tap the screen. Yeah, share the live. Why is my live paused?
All I know is, bro, until somebody show me some solid proof, I might just think for a long time that my grandma might just be crazy, dog. Just as crazy as these people talking about.
Have you ever ever studied your family?
When you say study, if you mean like some type of genealogy or something, I've never done that. You know, I've studied pictures. That's about it. You know, don't nobody look, you know, too exotic to me. Like, you know, we look black, so like, and I definitely don't see no native culture being held on to in no old pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, like practicing Native American.
Where you from?
Most of my family from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. So.
I see what you mean, because they culture consists of like rain dance, like jingle dress, stuff like that. And when we look at our pictures growing up, like photo album books, you know, that's the stuff that our parents be having in the house. And when we look at those pictures, it only goes back, like, even when my dad was growing up and he had pictures of when he was a little boy, and the adults that was around him at the time, they was never dressing in a certain like cultural type way. It was still the same. It was the same people, the same type of look. It ain't like we switched the way we dressed. I ain't like the more further we went back on those pictures that they looked like we was wearing like certain kind of like moccasin shoes, which are shoes that they wear in Native American culture, certain kind of like dresses and clothing, for us, like they have like jingles and bells on their clothing. I ain't never seen my dad or like previous family members, like adults that was around him when he was a kid, wearing stuff like that. So I don't see where we can get this notion that we are cut from that certain kind of cloth, like even a feather. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never even seen pictures of, you know, don't get me wrong, my old dude to have a hat with like a feather on the side, but that was more like OG status, like back, like when, you know, they was players in the 90s. They drove Cadillacs and stuff like that. So, but
what's up, Kia?
What it do? What it do?
What's going on?
I'm just over here on this TikTok thing, checking out the lands, these uncharted waters. I'm realizing like a lot of these conversations aren't as evolved over here on this side of things.
Yeah, it depends on who come through.
But they have a history of like what do you call it? Like they'll slaughter a goat. You know, they still practice that to this day.
What tribe is slaughtering goats?
Yeah, the Native American people.
Ooh.
Navajos, maybe even the Apaches, like different tribes within the Native American community. They still practice a lot of like old school traditions that they know of. For us, like even like wearing a moccasin
shoes. Can I ask you a question? Who doesn't slaughter goats today?
Say a lot of people do that.
Well, I'm saying like as a practice of something that they don't do all the time.
What's
but
up, Gemini Move?
It's done to solidify a certain time and the upcoming of a youth you know, like somebody that's reaching a certain age, like 15 years old, they go off and they slaughter a sheep, butcher. They call it butcher. So they butcher this sheep down, and then you know they use these like traditional. But what I'm saying is, I didn't grow up like we did a lot of things growing up, but we never like took sheep.
Did you grow up? Did you grow up having barbecues?
Yeah, that was a big
You
thing.
did?
Yeah, every Sunday.
The barbecues was a big thing. So
Yeah.
So I got a question. Do you know what barbecue come from?
Nah, never put two and two together on that.
I implore you to Google what barbecue comes from, the origin and the culture.
Yo, I'm
All I
curious
know is, bro,
because this is something new to me in terms of knowing where barbecue comes from. Cooking over open flame ain't unique to.
Yes, it is. Actually, it is.
Cooking over open flame. Okay, depending on
Yeah,
what
grilling. Yeah, grilling is exclusive to the Americas.
Cooking on, I'm saying cooking over an open flame.
Yeah, grill. I mean, open flame, but grilling, particularly barbecue, is from America.
Okay.
But we can say that that's probably still a old school practice. Even from the beginning of civilization, when the first humans walked the earth, where they're like find and butcher.
But he's talking about on a grill.
Don't you think you're extrapolating instead of using actual factual information?
He's
Like there's information that supports what I'm saying.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like
you
I'm
can
not
stick
denying.
on that, or you can extrapolate it into, well, people cook different ways all around the world. Where was it documented? Like, if you're going to say barbecue
What's
could
up,
just
Venus?
be anything, you would need to be able to show that in documentation. When you quickly just research Google barbecue, it will tell you it is native to the Americas. There isn't really any remix to it. So, like, if you're going to argue that, then you should at least be able to provide a tangible argument, if that makes sense. Like, show some documentation, show me these cultures that done this, instead of just saying, oh, well, people should have been cooking on open fires. Okay, so where?
Okay,
if
you go to Africa, and you see them on the ground with like a little open fire, and they got like a animal, and they just frying it up and just eating all kind of nasty and filthy, would that be considered barbecue too as well?
No,
no.
Barbecue is literally grilled meat.
No, no. Keo and Osiris are specifically talking about when it actually became the term barbecue on an actual grill, not just heating or cooking food or flaming it up over a fire. There's not, y'all talking about two different things.
Two different things, exactly.
Check this out.
Two things can be true at one time.
I'm online real fast.
Exactly.
Check this out. So it says barbecue as we know it originated in the Caribbean with the Taino people using wooden framework called barbacoa to slow cook meat over an open fire, a method later adopted by Spanish explorers. What do you guys agree or disagree with that?
What did you say?
So I looked up where does barbecue originate from? What is the origin of barbecue? And what we're getting online is barbecue as we know it originated in the Caribbean with the Taino using wooden fire work called barbacoa to slow cook meat over an open fire.
That sounds about right.
Say again?
That sounds about right.
Right. So that's what I was talking about in terms of if we're talking about queuing meat, or you know what I mean, then cooking over open flame, you know what I mean? I guess if we want to put it on an evolutionary scale, but in terms of Homo sapiens and shit,
oh god,
cooking over flames for quite some
All
time.
I know is, bro, at the end of the day,
do you call it cooking on an open flame, or do you call it I'm going to a barbecue? So there's the cultural aspect of it, there's the linguistic aspect of it, and the origination aspect of it. I don't understand why there's an argument past that.
Okay. No, fair enough. Let me look for some more information. I'll be back.
all I know is, bro, at the end of the day, the Taino Native Americans accept the fact that there are melanated Native Americans.
For sure. So if they accepted that fact, don't you think there'd be melanated people in North America?
Isn't
That
Once again, check it out. It's saying that the practice of cooking on grills or barbecuing originates from the indigenous people of the Caribbean. So I guess technically you can include the Caribbeans as within the Americas. So okay,
it already is considered the Americas.
right. All
What do
right.
And let me be clear. The reason why they say that is because that's where they came to first, as far as looking for the New World. They came to the Caribbean, so they came across them barbecuing first. They weren't the only ones that was barbecuing. The whole eastern seaboard was barbecuing. It was a tribal thing. So that's a whole nother thing. But go ahead.
Regardless, America started barbecue. Hell is what we talking about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? But once again, they're not really specific to like a grill. A grill doesn't really, you know what I mean? From the research, it says the idea was adopted by conquistadors from Spain, who evolved it until the 18th century, when people in South America took up the idea. Pigs spent hours roasting over a fire, and various sources of different types of wood were used to give different flavors to the meat. So I mean, so then if we're talking about a stove, an open fire stove, then yeah, I guess you guys make sense. There's such thing as an open flame stove. You know.
Hey, I got a question for Do.
Yeah.
No, I got a question for Do. Hey man, Darvid,
Yeah.
should we trust archives.org, the information on there?
Yeah.
It's like, can we trust? Huh?
Yeah, archives.org. That's literally connected to the National Archives.
Okay, so we can take that as facts there. Anything we read on there. Most things are everything.
What is that?
I mean, if you agree misclassification, yes and no.
Yeah, I agree misclassification. I've been reading. I just recently went on there, archives.org, and there's like this 800 page about the American Indians in Virginia and everything. I screenshot about 100 of it, but it was too much to read on. But so I'm spreading that information to the so-called blacks at my job, even this Caucasian, you know. And it's kind of hard to get through to them because they're used to the whole black African Atlantic slave trade BS. So my question is, what should I do in your opinion when trying to help others? Because they, I don't want to say hard-headed, they reject the fact.
Well, first thing is see if they actually want to be helped. That's the first thing. If they want to be helped, don't bother. But so they're open to it.
Hey, so you trying to help them with what?
They do their genealogy.
Hey, so through your prompt, I'm curious. Are you guys? Let me say, are American Indians Black American? Grandma's lying about me. So are you guys taking the stance that blacks are indigenous to America?
I know I am. My folks is classified. And
yeah, definitely. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, host. You talk.
It's okay, so you guys are classified as
yeah, because we all come from America though, like in all honesty. I mean the name, like it's hard to, you know, as a BLK man growing up, it's hard to accept the name. Like it's hard to say, you know what, I represent America because you know the flag, the red, white, and blue with the stars, it kind of represent like a YT. I think we all feel that way. Like we don't really truly feel, you know, connected to the American flag and what it represents.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think that's different, depending on the individual. Like, but when it comes to our blacks indigenous to America, right? My position is might be different. Where is when you say black, I like to refer to these conversations in historically accurate terminology, right? So when you say black as a people group or a caste system, they are quote unquote indigenous to America, no matter how you cut it, because black people, black Americans do not exist nowhere else in the world. Unless because they're American. So they are. So they wouldn't exist. But even hold on, let me finish.
Time out. Yeah.
Let me finish real quick. So when you're speaking of black people, right? I will say, if you ask me, I will say black people didn't exist until the 1600s. They have ancestors who predate them, but were those ancestors literally classified or casted as black? No, because they were ancestors before that ethnic group or that caste system existed. So if you was gonna ask if Black people are indigenous, yes, in many different forms. They are indigenous to the United States of America as a country because this is where the ethnogenesis took place at, and also many Black Americans, because it's an ethnic group and it's not composed of just one lineage. Many Black Americans are descendants of what you would consider American Indians prior to either reclassification or were intermixed.
Okay, so two last questions. Do you believe in like science, DNA technology, and how many indigenous Black people were here at the time of, let's say, the conquistador?
They said millions.
So again, when you say indigenous Black people, right?
Right. Well, okay.
So that's right there, right? You're trying to label a group before that group existed.
So to the host, then let me correct this. Host, what tribe are you from?
Powhatan, Piscataway.
Okay. How many Piscataway type people were here during the time of the conquistador?
They never met. Well, they kicked the conquistadors. They never met the conquistadors because the Powhatan kicked them out before they even got there. So, but it's documented that in North America, it was millions of indigenous people here. So
right. So the
question documented that they were melanated.
Hold on, wait, hold on, because I'm trying to learn something. I'm trying to be educated here. All right.
Archives.org and census.gov will answer all those questions for you.
So based off of that, right? There were millions of how do you say the tribe again, brother?
Powhatan, Piscataway.
Powhatan's here, right? So how much of like Powhatan and Piscataway culture and language and customs do you speak in, or you know what I mean?
I speak the Powhatan language.
You speak the Powhatan language?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool because I'm not denying that. You know what I mean? You know, there were no people like you were here, right? I'm just saying that a lot of these claims can't, you know what I mean, by people that are African appearing, you know what I mean, just don't add up, you know?
That's like what the brother man said about our people, like we come from the Native American background, like they are our ancestors, or he said that we come from them, but there's no like how they wore their clothes, their clothing, and the things that they
the culture.
Yeah, like
do you know when Native Americans
our
existed?
Culture don't add up to theirs for us to come from them or derive.
No, nothing.
One second, y'all. One mic. I was about to say, yeah, Native Americans ain't exist till the 1840s.
Exactly. No nothing party.
No nothing party.
Well, what about all that culture then?
White people were the first Native Americans. One mic.
Yeah, so hold on.
What? I'm trying
so explain all the culture that exists.
What you want to explain? Tell me about the Powhatan culture.
The Powhatan culture, that's Native American culture.
Yeah, now tell me about it.
Well, a lot of them are extinct. Because the Europeans pushed them off the land.
Hold on, one second. How did they extinct when folks ate cornbread still?
Yeah, but they ate cornbread with the corn.
One second. Yeah, Chickahominy literally means people. Hold on 1 second. Chickahominy literally means people of the hominy grits.
Hominy grits?
Spell that name.
Yeah.
How do you spell that tribal name?
Chickahominy.
How do you spell Powhatan?
Yeah.
How do you spell it, sir?
Powhatan.
Thank you, man.
It's a multiracial tribe right now.
Okay, cool.
See white people
okay, cool.
And black people in
where their ancestors come from.
Not a multiracial tribe.
Hold on, one second. What's some surnames of the Chickahominy, Leroy?
What are they? I mean, I'm not a Chickahominy expert. I know that.
Well, why are you speaking like you're a Chickahominy expert?
Because
Leroy?
when you look them up and the people that talk, if I go on lives right now, you're going to see white people talking. And
when are the Chickahominy?
Say they're descendants of Chickahominy.
Wow, hold on. What person you know that's Chickahominy on here?
It's a mixed group.
You said what?
What person do you know that's Chickahominy on here?
Well, I don't know. Do you claim that you're Chickahominy?
I'm related to the Miles family of the Chickahominy.
Okay, that's good. You may have some Native American DNA.
Well, I
I'm not
have it.
doubting that about you.
I have it, sir.
Bro, this is what
Okay,
I'm
I'm not
saying.
doubting that about
What
you.
the
And
fuck
you
are you
have
talking
the
about? Like, what the fuck are you talking
you have the
about?
right to a
Hold
tribe.
on, 1 second. Time out. Mute up. 1 second. I was about to say, I have it, sir. I've done my genealogy. I showed my tree on here. So stop with
Did you do?
until you show your tree, Leroy. I don't want to hear shit.
Bro, this is my only thing, bro. This is my only thing, bro. Listen, if Native Americans, yo, you're cool. We can't even tell. What
We can't even hear you. Yeah, I was about to say we can't even hear you.
You might as well just calm down, bro. But at the end of the day, what I don't get, if Native Americans look melanated, and so do Africans, then like, what is so different about their DNA from them?
Because I know dark-skinned Native Americans here in Michigan, and they don't look like us.
One second.
Mute up. God damn, why is there so many mics coming off?
And then another thing, not only that,
Hey, Profetti, I just need 1 minute, brother. I'm gonna let y'all go right back to y'all thing.
Man, shut up! Why y'all so rude on here, dude? You see him talking,
man. Like, what is so important about your point, bro? At the end of the day, also for anybody that you know what I'm saying is claiming they native right now and they melanated, I'm just trying to understand where the proof is.
My family, sir. I can name the people. I'm literally related to the Piscataway chief that resurrected the tribe.
No. I'm trying to see. What is the proof?
That's my family. Family. The records of my family, sir.
My brother.
Hold on. Can y'all stop flying off the fucking mic?
My brother. Just let me finish the sentence. I said, like, where's the proof?
I just told you the goddamn proof. Hold on. Let me finish. Like, dude, can y'all? No. Can you hear? Can you hear, sir? I said this shit a million times. The records. I gave you an answer.
Yeah, I'm not just saying proof that you're native. I'm saying where's
he playing games. Darby, can I say what I have to say, please?
Hold on, bro. I'm saying where is the proof? Hold on, bro. Where is the proof that your Native American ancestors?
That's a silly question, bro.
It's
melanated. That's all I'm saying.
Right now.
Like, hold on, US. Hold on, US.
How's that a silly question?
I just need 1 minute. Darby, I just need 1 minute.
Can y'all? I'm about to drop people. I'm about to start dropping people because y'all not about to keep shouting over me on
the stage.
Y'all
just give me the respect to say this full sentence without being interrupted. It's not a silly question. Just think about it. Where is the proof that Native American ancestor was melanated? That's all I'm saying. There's a history of pictures of white-looking natives and black-looking natives. Who knows what the original native looked like?
What's the history?
Okay, he done. That's it. That's
all right. Wait. What's the history of pictures? Because you don't have photography before 1850. So
whenever you do have photography, they're looking at all different types of ways.
I checked out what the host is talking about, and the host is telling the truth, right? There are Powhatans that look like this man, right?
Exactly.
But now here's my thing, right? Because the Powhatans apparently are also part of the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So, hold up.
Okay, you're done. You're done, yo.
God,
I was supposed to
Black. You about to get. I was about to say you about to get off the stage, Black. You don't shut the fuck up. God damn.
All right. Thank you, bro. Okay, so now with is your look due to like admixture?
Admixture of what?
With like the other Powhatan Indians, they got straight hair because it's not like you guys are a monolith. There's ones that look like
there's no monolith. Yeah, it's no monolith.
Right, and there's other ones with like straight hair and all that.
Yeah, so folks got mixed up over time. Some mixed with Europeans, some mixed with Africans, some didn't.
Yeah, okay. So that's legit. The host is legit in what he's talking about. That's legit shit.
Okay.
The mixed tribe. The original.
Oh my gosh.
Phenotype is barely there.
What's the original phenotype? What did John Smith say the Powhatan look like, Leroy?
It will be like the rest of the Native Americans that are across the.
No, it's not.
No, it did not. No, it did not. Hold on 1 second, because I actually read from that fucking book. He literally said they were born pink or pale. Then they grew up to be a dark brown color.
Okay, I know people that look like that in Michigan, in the Southwest,
What
and
tribe?
in the Southwest right
What
now.
tribe,
The
sir? What
Ojibwa.
tribe? Ojibwe?
Yes, or Ojibwe, the Chippewa. I can go to Canada right now. I was just at one. What was this, like 5 years ago? At one of the things they had over here in what is it? What is this place? It's a little island over here near Port Huron.
If you see any European natives, they're all fake Indians. They're $5 Indians. They don't belong
No,
to the
they're
tribe.
not. They're brown skin. They don't
Hold
look
on.
nothing like Europeans. They don't look like Europeans.
Hold
at
on
all.
1 second.
See, this is the problem right here, is this colorism thing. And then there's people who really don't have the lineage whatsoever trying to determine what other people's ancestors look like, right? That's why genealogy is very, very important. Ancestors look like, then don't try to come in and say, oh, 18, some Southwestern Indians, and try to compare that to some Southeastern or Northeastern woodland. These are completely different people. If you're gonna
No,
be
they're
worried
not
about,
completely different people.
yes, they are. Yes, they
Yo,
are.
all right, Joe.
They are
Come on, can I
completely
get a, hold
different
on 1
people.
second. Hold on 1 second. Can I get a mod to do the timer shit? Like, y'all getting annoying, dude. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
What's up, Juice?
Shoot, make me mine. I'll do it.
I already got 30 mods.
Because I was trying to go right after Fetty until everybody jumped in. All I need is 1 minute. Okay.
Hey, OG, you here? Can you start the timer shit? There you go.
Yeah, what up, y'all? So I'm not too sure how everybody feel about the conversation that we're having, but the Native Americans that I know of, they have nicknames like Wolf or like Skywalker, certain things of that nature. So if BLK people derive from the Native Americans or the original Native Americans, do we still carry those names like Wolf this or Half Moon this or Moon Wolf, certain names like that? We don't have those type of names. So I want you guys' intake on that. So yeah.
People got detribalized. That's one thing. A lot of folks got detribalized. There's actually Thomasine Jordan Act. All non-reservation Indians in Virginia are reclassified as Negroes. So if people are getting
why we don't carry those names like Half Moon Wolf,
there's people that carry on Indian names. There's names that come from America that's actually from here. Carter. It comes from the Pomokee name Chick Carter, right? Tan is literally the name of a tribe, Kickatan.
But now that I'm around a lot of like Navajos and Native Americans, when they be telling me their nicknames, I be like, damn, that's tight. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I be like, man, y'all got some tight little names and stuff, just embracing they culture, but they skin complexion is not like mine. They more on the pale, like Mexican look. They got the long straight hair and all that. So it's just kind of weird.
I mean, they're not the same people as the Eastern Woodlands people. All tribes aren't the same. They have different cultures. They have different histories. And we always give nicknames to our people too. Like, that's a culture we live on ourselves. Damn, I got fucking 5 minutes. Bring me up. What do I even want to say? Yeah, it's a lot of things. Like, folks like, oh, you don't do this. We don't speak no African language. We don't have no African names. Like, what are we talking about? If our folks said they was Indian, they ain't never say they was. My folks ain't never say they was African. Well, wish she was Native. Oh my God! Like, where are the African names at? Where the African languages at? Where's the African culture at? Just give me oh my God! Somebody about to have a full fit in the goddamn audience. I might bask here. Hoodoo is no, it's not. It depends. Hoodoo is a family-based thing. That's a family-based thing. Hoodoo is not no goddamn African culture. It's based on people's families. The only form of hoodoo that's really derived from Africa is Gullah Geechee, if you want to be honest, right? You talk about the crosses, and there's crosses here used here in the Americas. The I'm a practitioner. You know, I'm a practitioner too. My grandma was a medicine woman. She's a private nurse that made her own medicine. They never say anything about it coming from Africa, right? I have a grandma I have family that practice hoodoo too. Yeah, it's literally root work, right? Literally, hoodoo is literally root work. We didn't even call that shit hoodoo. That's some new shit. Folks called it roots. Roots are roots. Like people would, yeah. Like, you know, folks, I ain't never heard none of my answers say no goddamn hoodoo. That's some new shit. That's some new shit. So yeah, I'm a basketball for 3 more. I got 3 more minutes left. That them goddamn roots. Prove it and get your land back. I have family that never lost land. Gonna put some roots on you. Like ain't nobody like if you're a root worker, right, and you're catering to the land, right? They're catering to the American land. You feel me? The American land. We're not cultivating no African land over here. We're in America. So if hoodoo is based in America, what roots are you working with? American roots. You feel me? American roots. Practitioner, spiritualist. I'm an occultist. You know, I'm gonna be patient and wait my turn. Oh my God, I can't wait to drop this now. It better be the greatest knowledge ever. It better be the greatest knowledge ever. You feel me? It better be some mind-blowing shit I just hear. Not that new play. That play scholarship. You feel me? Uncle Leroy's Hoodoo Corner. Like, man, no way hoodoo is from America. Name if anybody that practiced hoodoo in their family, name a time when your folks called it hoodoo. Name a time when your folks called it hoodoo. If your folks ain't never called it hoodoo, right? And they called it root work or roots, right? What's up, Mike? Turn our mics on. Nah, it's been peaceful these 5 minutes. Ain't nobody loud as hell in my ear and things like that. It's actually pretty nice right now. It's actually pretty nice right now. Just me talking and basking in my glory. Looking at the chat. People talking about who his folks' answers, look like, and don't even know what they look like. I was about to say, like, there's documentation of what the Piscataway looked like. There's documentation of what the Powhatan looked like. John Smith said Chief Powhatan was as black as the devil. John Smith also said Virginia Indians were pale, started off as pale, and became really deeply melanated, brown skin, right? Also, William Byrd, he said Virginia Indians were a dark mahogany color. Also, who else? Who else has said something? Oh, John Smith saw the Piscataway. He said they were real dark and well-proportioned peoples. Arizona, like, bro, come on. We can name what people say Indians look like, bro. We could go all day. William Penn said the Lenni Lenape had a black complexion. In the 1500s. DeSoto. All right, I got 8 seconds left. Now we was in, like, folks been saying they was Indians, bro. Like, cut it out.
I just wanted to start by saying, you know, host, you had said, like, who do you know with African names? I ain't gonna lie. I grew up knowing a lot of African American dudes that got an African name. And I didn't know that till I got older because, you know, I was just a kid. I wasn't really paying attention to that stuff. But I get older and realize, like, damn, that was an African name that dude had. Like Zion or Amir or Kareem or Amari. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm knowing a lot of black dudes with these names growing up. So I ain't gonna lie. I see a few signs of African culture in America and black people in America. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously I don't see no native culture, but whoever brought that point up in the first place, I think it was a terrible point to make. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like saying, oh, like, why don't we see no native culture in, amongst black people? Because obviously if they wanted to brainwash all of us and erase that from our memory or our history that we was once native, then we're not gonna see it in our culture, you know what I'm saying? But my only points to, like, why it's so hard is just, you know, like I keep saying, like what Where's the proof that the melanated ancestors were melanated? But I mean, what you just said when you just had your turn, I'm like, okay, that kind of sounds like proof to me, because before cameras and stuff, that's what they used to do. Like when they would travel around the different colonies and stuff, they would take note of how the people looked and stuff in writings and stuff like that. That's what they would do. So if there's writings, before whatever that period was when they was trying to brainwash everybody and erase the true history, whatever period it was before that started, and they had first came over here and seen what these people looked like, if there's documentation from when they first came and seen what those people look like, saying that the tribes they were encountering were melanated people, then that would be all I really needed. I ain't gonna lie, to 100% believe it. As long as there's not any other documents with like what you would probably say is.
Who's next? Why I got 20 seconds? But yeah, there's plenty of documents saying different things. Like Indians came in all types of different colors too. They had a different range of colors in their skin tone, from real light to real pale to real dark. So,
Hey, Hope. Thanks for letting me up, man. This has been an educational journey for me. So, cause the reason why I was curious as to why is because, based upon the prompt, because I do come from a family that believed that, hey, we got Native American ancestry based upon of a few of us in the family being light skinned and having fair hair. But once we did our research and lineage and we checked back, it was actually a Caucasian mixture. And there's a few of us that run into this situation, right? Not every Black or not every African, if that helps you guys understand where I'm coming from phenotypically, has a Native American mix, right? A lot more of the times it is a Caucasian mix than it isn't. So, but nonetheless, man, I'm just rambling, dude. I've been educated. You know what I mean? This has been fun. It's too bad you had to start the damn timer, but thank you for starting the damn timer. Right?
for sure.
You know what I mean? It's messed up that it has to be like that. So, and then finally, I just wanted to ask you, so you do believe in science, DNA, and medicine technology, the host, yes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. See, that makes sense, right? And I saw research, man, and I found your people. And there you are, just as bright as day with afro.
For sure, I appreciate that.
Right on, man. Much love, man. I appreciate you letting me come up, man. I followed you, man. I'll stop back by later. I got to get going. Peace out.
All right, peace. All right, who's next? All right, 26. What's up, Receipt guys? Peace. Nothing Trump genealogy. I'm naming them. Who do not come from have African gods? Oh my God, they don't. Yo, that's some remix 1900 shit. I swear to God, man.
Oh shit, it's my turn. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Kia.
Okay. Yeah. So the DNA thing is interesting because it seems like a lot of people kind of formulate their identity and a belief in this science. And it is. I'm not gonna knock DNA. It's a great secondary tool when you're trying to research your genealogy and figure out who you are. Especially if you come across things like your ancestors was adopted, and you might need to connect to other people that might be in a database to help you continue your genealogical journey. But the primary tool in genealogy is record searching. And I think a lot of people just do this DNA thing and just let it be at that. They take these percentages and they really don't research on how DNA actually works. I implore people to just go on YouTube and research how DNA works. DNA that you inherit, how many generations going back, you can tie back into ancestral DNA. Learning the different types of DNA. If you're a male or if you're a female, how it will affect your genealogical tracing, or even if what DNA that you can trace through what ancestors, because a lot of ancestors you can't even, these tests are not giving you DNA results for, and there's a reason behind it. So I would implore everybody to really, before you just say, oh, I'm going to take a spit kit and this is who I am. Somehow I'm a 23andMe Nigerian. I would definitely implore people to check to really do your genealogy. And
Oh yeah, you're in the Matrix now, Keo.
Okay, am I back? Am I back?
Oh, you got 2 seconds.
Am I back?
All right. Cool. Yeah, he was back. You came back with 2 seconds left. All right, who's next? Uncle Leroy dropped. Thank goodness. I guess it's
All right. Thank you, goodness. All I gotta say is only take about 1 minute.
all right.
The reason why y'all saying the stuff that y'all saying about American Indians and all that is because you lack knowledge on Africa. You gotta remember, Africa. Come on, man. Come on, David.
I got you. Go ahead. Yo, just go ahead. This is gonna be hilarious. But go ahead.
Beautiful, fine and funny. I don't care. I gotta understand, Africa's older than America. Ancient times, America was an ice sheet. Everybody was in Central and South America. In history, if you know your history, Africans traveled the whole world. If you look in South America and in Central America, you see the same science and technology that occurred in Africa. It's the same science technology. The masturbaus, the step pyramids, the clothing, the writing is all similar, right, to the Africans of ancient history. That's one. Now, two, if you know anything about Africa, we have so many, which y'all like to talk about phenotypes so much. We are the mothers and fathers of phenotype. Nobody owns phenotype but us. We have everything. If you look up the tribe, the Khoisan people, they look like Asians. They literally are light-skinned tribe of Africans, 100% Africans. They look like Asian people. They got soft hair, soft curls. They look just like Mr. Darvid, but just Asian looking. Light complexion. The American Indians are nothing but an African tribe that left Africa. That's a fact. I'm trying to get you. Y'all talk about phenotype. Oh no, look at their skin. Look at their nose.
Oh,
that don't mean nothing. It doesn't
5
mean
seconds.
anything.
Oh, God.
Do your history. Do your history.
But I got to, what the fuck is this? What African tribe came to America, right? That's the first thing. Khoisan, yeah. Actually, no, sciences that broke down DNA. Khoisan DNA can be found in America. They found pygmies in Tennessee. Man, Darwin, please. Yeah, I was about to say, after this is stuff over with, we can end it. After the last person goes.
Correct, Black Girl. So I'm gonna just say a couple things. So the word Negro, I hate to say that on live, but the word Negro, if you look at the 1828 English dictionary, it pertains to the southernmost part of Africa. It did not apply to the Western Africas. That's for one. If you want to know any more information on American Indians, the real knowledge, go to archives.org or go to census.gov. Enough talking, do the reading. It's there. Aboriginal means pertaining to America, copper-colored race, which is us. We're brown skin. If you look at the emblem of America, it's a brown-skinned woman. And the emblem of Africa is a dark-skinned woman. 2 different shades, not the same people. They're not the same people. One more thing. So a couple of things before my time runs out. So what else I about to say? Yeah, just do your research, man. Oh, yeah, on interest.com. This is what I'm talking about, interest.com. So you cannot pay attention to the ethnic groups, or ethnicity, whatever percentage. It says I'm 34% Nigerian. I have zero proof for the 4 families that I'm from Nigeria on any documentations. It doesn't show it. I'm not Nigerian. Read the documentations. Everybody tends to forget that you have 4 sides of your family. Everybody always researches 1 or 2 families because a lot of y'all don't know all 4 sides of your family. And I say that for a fact. I didn't know all 4 sides of my family until about 3 years ago. I met my 4-sided family, my Jacksons from West Virginia, 3 years ago. I didn't know nothing about them. 4 sides of your family. Research all 4 sides of your family on documentation on all 4, not just 1 or 2. To find your real genealogy. And like I said, go back to census.gov and archives.org. Type in American Indian, common sense, research. You're not African. Stop the cap.
For sure. All right, folks. Like, who's next? Who's next? I think it's on. I think it's on Prince Eon. And then after Haley goes, we can turn the thing off. We can turn the stage off. Oof. Oh, Prince, you there? Yo, yo, yo. You there? No. All right, cool. I guess I'll go. All right, cool. All right, Receipt Goddess, go ahead. Yeah, you got it. Receipt Goddess is next. What's up, Prin? You got Prin in the building. Let's go. What's up,
Let me
Cookie?
go ahead and fix my screen because I don't like when people lie. First of all,
Go
ain't
ahead.
nothing African about us. Okay. And basically thanks to y'all.
Oh no, where'd she go? Oh, you there?
Who, me? You don't hear
Yeah,
me?
you was gone for a
Yeah, I
second.
just had to fix my screen. Now, when it comes to African becoming its own country, okay, y'all ain't even that fucking old. Let's keep that 100. Matter of fact, as I keep that 100, let me countries, right? Pan-African countries. Lying motherfuckers. Excuse my French. Yeah. Matter of fact, when it comes to DNA, bones, or none of that. Okay? Look, is anyone a true? Is everyone African? Why y'all percentages so low? Yeah, screenshot. I ain't finna read all this shit because I done did my due diligence. Yeah, let's talk about how y'all basically use markers, right? Yeah, African ancestry DNA tests may offer insights into sub-Saharan Africa, right, origins. They generally do not focus on or directly incorporate ancient Egyptian DNA for analysis. Why do y'all need a panel and shit? Because y'all trying to fit y'all narrative, right? So y'all can keep stealing. Yeah. What does it say? They don't. They fit their narrative. Y'all got us fucked up. While y'all sitting up here right alongside with the natives, right? Going into private contracts to dig up coltan, cobalt, gold, and all of that, putting Africa name on it. Y'all got us fucked up. The richest man is a Nigerian who steals oil from us. Africa imports, we export. Fuck you mean?
Ooh, okay. Haley's next, and then y'all can turn off the stage. No, Indian Styles next after Haley. Yeah, Indian Styles next, then Haley.
Peace to the cousins. What's good? With the for the ones that want to come over talking about that ice age, then how do you explain the Grand Canyon? If all this was going on and America was ice and all this, see that fabrication right there? That's a direct contradiction. So the Smithsonian is null and void because of the ice age. That stuff's already been proven to be thousands of years old. So we want to talk about antiquity. We found what y'all talking about over there. And why do y'all's animals, why do y'all's deities have our animals? Well, I mean, we can drop the Grand Canyon today. It's because that messes up the timeline. Y'all just on a different time. It's because that messes.
For sure. All right, we got Haley next, and then we can wrap up the stage if any mod wants to do that, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I was really trying to figure this out, but I'm still on the topic about voodoo. I don't know why y'all keep making voodoo African. I just don't know. I mean, I know why y'all do it, but they call it an African spirituality, right? But that was never a thing. If I go talk to some elders, they're going to be like, what is African spirituality? It was just considered a spirituality. Y'all decided to put the African in front of that. Okay. And I know I might get attacked for this, but y'all can go do your own research, right? So even with the deity Oshun, one of her main offerings is a sunflower, right? The sunflower is indigenous to America. And a lot of people like to say, oh, because when they came over here, they tried to figure out some offerings that was on the land. That's not true. Some of these deities that y'all claim are African and things like that are not. And how come we practice that more over here? A lot of that stuff just do not make sense. And y'all just associate anything with culture African, and y'all need to stop doing that. A lot of stuff is really just common sense, and a lot of stuff was practiced all over the world. It's spiritual, it's universal, it's all one, right? Not meaning that it's associated with Africa, but meaning it's all a conscious thing, right? So I need y'all to stop connecting voodoo with Africa, specifically New Orleans voodoo. They do like to pin Africa on New Orleans voodoo. But even me being in voodoo, we didn't learn any African history. We were mainly focused on the history in the Americas and obviously, Haiti, which is still a part of America. So I need y'all to disassociate that. I feel like it's very disrespectful to the elders.
The show. All right. Can we end this on my core, please? Please, please, please. And after you go, Receipt Goddess, I saw you. Yeah. So you can get back to a regular flowing live. All right, cool. Thank you, OG.
Could I say one thing and then I'm gonna drop down for somebody else to come up? All I was saying, y'all, is that Africans are the oldest people in the world, right? It's not. It's
Fuck out of here.
I
just want to say something to back up what the goddess said. First of all, voodoo and hoodoo, right? And this is I appreciate her for mentioning that. That is straight Louisiana. You feel me? Like, people need to stop playing. We were doing spiritual practices for protection. You feel what I'm saying? Man, what you got? African Wi-Fi? Now, my bad. Look, they don't hate speech discrimination and none of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's jack the screen up. What I'm saying is this: these people, bro, they get paid lots of money to lie to everybody. They do. I got the receipts. How the fuck did they get? Huh?
Jewish agenda.
Watch the J word.
The dude.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, watch the J word, please. Thank you.
Yeah, can y'all tap the screen up, put some fruits in the chat, because we cannot say the J word.
Put some fruits, y'all.
The fact that these people make an average monthly salary of $4,000 to $13,000 a month, they make $80,000 to $200,000 annually. To lie. Matter of fact, they have job offerings, y'all, for content moderators. Yeah, let's talk about that. How y'all literally got our accounts really restricted. Our posts restricted when we just speaking the truth. Bro, they broke us. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, and they're gonna pay for everything. These people have came up with these Pan-African countries, right? Between 1945 and 1960 to steal. They import everything, stealing the stuff. Like, bro, the shit, the receipts, I got them. That's all I want to say.
Shout out to the Receipt Goddess.
Oh, African.
Africans don't even say they from Africa. Like,
exactly.
Come on, dude. Like, you got we got what the Egyptians said America's the old land. Augustus LaPlagione said to Herodotus that Egyptians said told Herodotus that their ancestors came from the West, older people in the West. Even when they die, they say they go to the West, What else I want to share? What's up, IC? Anybody want to? I'm gonna drop Prince Ion. He ain't saying nothing. So, what's up, IC?
Man, it's crazy.
What's up, Miguel?
Hey, I got a quick question because I want some knowledge.
Hey,
like I said, I do my history on archives.org and census, but I got a quick question. Was the Canadian Indians originally brown skin? Or were they always?
Everybody
sure.
was brown skin.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing more research. I've done a lot of research on North America and South America and Haiti, which technically are the Arawaks and the Taino people, or West Indies. But on Canada, I'm still trying to, do my research on that, to find, the original people there. Because I look at Google and Bing, the pictures are of Siberians and BS and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. These are what you would call the ancient Romans, and it was a lot of stuff that was going on with Canada still to this day. Like Trump wasn't even worried about nothing that Canada was talking about. We're gonna cut the electricity. How? When we import to you. I mean, we export to you. You import from us. Minnesota is one of the top places in the world to extract cobalt. We don't need Africa for nothing. Nothing.
Yo, for the people that say they know they got Native American in their ancestry, do you have African in your ancestry too?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you, for the people on here that say they got Native in their ancestry, do you have African in your ancestry too? For the people that check.
Oh,
Is that a question for everybody on the panel?
Yeah. Any of y'all up here on the panel? Because I know the host said he got Native in him. Whoever else got.
Okay, so look, let me explain to you.
Know we do.
Yeah, so
yeah, I know he know he do.
Hold on. Let me. I got you. Well, and then you go ahead. My bad, goddess, if I'm stepping in. But when you understand that there's a such thing as Native Americans, right? Which is actually U.S. Natives, right? And then you have Natives of America. Do you get what I'm saying? Native Americans is a political term, right? To describe the people that's living on reservations that's associated with the United States Corporation. The Natives of America is basically the original people of the Americas, meaning land. You feel me? So, and then original Haiti was here. Louisiana, all of that.
So are you a Native of America?
Of course.
Are you the same thing, Osiris?
Yeah, I'm an Indian. I'm an Indian. Yeah,
I'm
an Indian.
And we definitely Indians.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an Indian. Yeah.
But I think he's asking, did we find any African ancestry? And
Yeah,
I'm answering mine. No.
No.
But I did have one person, but her parents were born in Canada, so that didn't make any sense. So
you telling
they
me you
lied.
have no African ancestry?
That is not how that works. Listen to what I'm saying. They lied on things like that, right? So it said that she was born in Africa. She was not adopted or anything like that, but her parents were born in Canada, nowhere from Africa. Their parents were nowhere from Africa, and they came to Louisiana.
Yeah, Africa basically mean cave. And the first place that was labeled as Africa was Ohio. They have an Africa, Ohio still to this day.
So y'all have no African.
But one person does not make you African. What do I look like claiming African when everybody else is indigenous? That's disrespectful.
I'm saying none of y'all have no African ancestry.
No, they lie. Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. I was about to say they lie. I've seen them lie about Africans on my genealogy too. My great grandfather was a World War vet. They classify him as African. That's a whole Piscataway Indian. Barbados, and then I had an ancestor that came from Barbados, right? They said they came up with these stories that he was African and things like that, but no, there's no record of him coming from Africa.
And can I say this? The people who was labeled as Africans, right, were recessive. They were recessive.
2 Ks, not 1 C.
Huh?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you. 2 Ks, not 1 C.
Right. The Afrikaners, in so many words. And then the crazy part about it is, how you gonna be using modern day terminologies? Like, how you gonna trace somebody back to Nigeria when Nigeria is really literally only 1960 years old? And when you actually look up the name Nigeria, why don't you look up the name before that? It's gonna say the Royal Niger Company. Then look up the name before that and the name before that. You're gonna get the word Tunis. Now,
So
Phoenicia in Africa.
What are y'all really telling me by saying that? Are y'all telling me y'all don't have confidence in the ancestry stuff?
Okay, so you talk about DNA?
Yeah, like the
Okay, look, let me
Yeah.
explain to you. First of all, DNA, I just showed you, and I got more receipts. They don't use, first of all, they use regions. If you don't know what regions mean, then probably you should just look into it, brother, right?
I'm not
But
asking you to tell me nothing
I
about how.
got you. I got you. Hold on.
I'm not. No,
What
hold
I'm
on.
saying is,
I don't think you get the question. I'm
I
saying,
get the question. Give me a chance to get it out.
tell me my question, just so I know.
What is ancestry to you? Do you know
That's
that?
not what I'm asking.
No,
you.
I'm asking you because that's family. That's building your family tree.
You got to start a little
slower.
I know what he's asking, but
Go ahead.
I'm not confident.
Yeah.
It feel like y'all critiquing how science works.
Okay, I got you. First of all, I'm into the year. Hold on, sir. I'm into the year of 1140 in my family tree. In my family tree, nobody came from Africa. Matter of fact, I got over 18,000 of airland that my family has in their name. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm explaining to you is this, right? Are you African? Matter of fact, let me ask you a question.
What?
Have you done your family tree?
Nah, and that's what I was gonna ask you.
Okay,
what are you using to trace your ancestry?
Documents. Your family's name, right?
So we're not talking about what's that?
Hold
shit?
on, let me explain to you. If you want to ask me what documents, not just birth certificates, it's unalive certificates, it's cemeteries, right? It's actual residences, right? It's like we have accounts and stuff that our family have left as well. It's locations, actual locations. I have images of this. I have deeds.
But you're not using like none of that DNA stuff for
you can't use DNA. DNA is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Facts.
So
I want to say this.
All them genetic tests they got out there to trace people lineage, you saying all of that stuff fake?
Yes, because
okay,
they actually,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So let me explain to you what they use. They
wanted a yes or no question. He's kind of, you got to start kind of, no disrespect to you, but it seems like you're learning. That's too much information for him.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to say, like, that's really all I was asking from the jump. You could have.
It's a yes or no to him, but
I'm cool. I'm cool with the details
okay.
too. Like she's saying, I'll be needing that yes or no.
Hey, can I say something real quick? So I want you to understand something, Prophet, man. So do you know that United States and America are two different things?
Say it one more time, my fault.
Do you know that the United States and America are two different things? Or do you think it's the same?
I get all of that vernacular stuff because I understand stuff was colonized and renamed. So yeah, all of that makes sense. What's your point?
Okay, my point is, so the American Indians here existed, our families existed here before the United States even became a thing. You find African ancestry, man. And like I said, United States created all these classifications, black and white, and color, to confuse you. For one, Walter Plecker, look him up, research on Walter Plecker and people he got his information from, the people he studied. Understand that. So he mixed in the Africans and the Indians and called them colored folks. So when you look at your ancestry, when you go to ancestry.com and you see a grandparent that says colored, you don't know if they're African or if they're Indian.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, though, bro. It's a social construct. Okay, look, let me explain it better. Okay, before race was a skin color, right? It is a social construct. It's a class system. Okay. Yep. So what basically, I ain't finna get into all of it, but when you understand,
you don't need to tell me none of that. No way, I get all that.
I'm not trying to tell you. Don't even know what I'm about to say.
What's your confusion then?
So this is what I'm trying to say. Look, this is my question for Receipt Goddess and U.S. history. I don't know if Haley, you said you native too. So look,
I'm American Indian, but go ahead.
Or my bad. Look, I don't be knowing what to call it at this point. But at the end of the day, are y'all finding these documents from your family members, or like are you using any internet resource or something to help?
I got you. Okay, so
Ancestry.com.
hold on, y'all.
helps you with that.
He asked
Who
me
are
and
you?
Goddess, right? Where we get our documents is we are the record keepers in so many words, right? You can actually find any and everything you need of your family members who were born, periods, right? There's people who've been stuck, but there's records everywhere. It's just people have been self-identifying as us, okay? Now, secondly, I wanted to let you know something. Right now to this day, right, we have higher technology, I'll just say, when it comes to shipping devices, right? So I'm quite sure you looked at boats and stuff like that were wooden boats and relied on the wind and all of that, right? To say that we sailed from Africa. And, basically, it took like 3 months to 6 months, right? Now, the fact that we didn't have canned goods, the fact that we needed to have water and medicine and stuff like that, the gallons of water that would have needed to be on these shipping devices would have literally been impossible, right? So this is the whole truth today. Today in 2025, there's no water device, not one, right, that's going to sell anybody from here to Africa or from Africa to here. To this day, the only way that you're going to be able to do that is on a plane. Even you, I mean, I'm quite sure you don't seen cargo ships that actually fail. So how was we able to do that? We had to be able to stop.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Prophet, I wanted to ask you, because you were like, you keep saying like, oh, so y'all don't have no African. So who's your African ancestor or ancestors?
I haven't done none of my ancestry, so you're not gonna get nowhere.
So are you assuming that you're African descent?
I never ruled out the possibility that I could be native, nor am I denying because I don't have any for sure facts of my ancestry. That would be bigotry for me to say either answer. I don't have proof.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to ask you that.
And I wanted to answer your question about the documents. Yes, I have documents within my family that we actually have paper in our hands. My people are from deep down south, and my maternal side, they're from Louisiana. A lot of people in Louisiana kept their documents. Like they have them.
Do any of the documents you got personally, like from like that's been passed down within your family, do any of them documents trace back before 1500?
Yeah, mine do.
Oh, not my physical papers, no, but the documents that I've found, yes, like doing my genealogy, of course.
Ancestry, like doing ancestry and stuff.
Yeah, right. Hold on, I got you.
So the oldest documents y'all got are on ancestry.
No,
I'm speaking for my lineage. I'm pretty sure other people have their stuff.
So you said no, Osiris. What are your oldest documents, if not on ancestry?
They're historical markers.
I was gonna say I'd start with your family, asking your family first. Like for instance, my grandmother has a picture of my great grandmother who was born in the 1800s.
Well, first of all, I'm not looking for advice on what I should do, especially if you're gonna tell me to ask my family, because most of my family has been passed away before I got here, so it's not possible.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's okay. I ain't.
What you mean you're not looking for advice? Like that's, I mean, I'm
saying in terms of anything that
family.
Yeah, because I can't do that. That's really
but you don't know that, mind you. I'm not saying nothing about your like immediate family, but we're talking about people you may not even know you're related to.
That's what I'm saying. How I'm related to him, how I'm gonna talk to him. You feel me? Like I can't really use
your last name, so you can still find out information like that. You already talking yourself out of it, you know. So it takes a lot. This is an investment because it's been hidden from us for so long. You have to invest in stuff like this.
Real talk. My family. My last name.
Crystal.
My last name is the one I'm supposed to have because my dad, he took the last name of his sibling's father because that's the one that raised all of them.
I get it. We all have things like that. And my family done changed their name a few times, changed their spellings. You're gonna run through things like that when you're doing your family tree or your genealogy in general. You just have to be dedicated.
Yeah, I can help. I can help. If you follow me, I can help.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, anything outside of talking to my family members being the first step, I'm open to all that advice because
I got you.
Family
Look,
don't know.
as long as you have any type of information, like as far as if you have the location and the year your parents were born or your grandparents, you can start from there.
Yeah, I could probably use.
You get what I'm saying? So you can follow me, and I can definitely get you into the directions of where you need to go. And you see OG down here, he can help too.
Oh, the one that was just talking to me?
Yeah, the one down here at the bottom.
I'm gonna follow both of y'all.
I will.
I'll say
that Darvit teaches genealogy. He has genealogy classes. I have genealogy classes. That we offer for free to the community. So there's definitely ways to figure out your lineage. And let's just say, right, this is the only time I would recommend taking the DNA test is if there was someone if you was adopted, right? So you can try to link to a relative that might be living in one of those databases. But that's about it. But yeah, genealogy it shouldn't be something you shouldn't be scared to do it or have any fear of pushing through your genealogy because it's one of the most therapeutic things one can do in their life is to find out who their ancestors were.
I ain't scared at all. I'm curious as hell. I be asking questions all the time since I was a kid. I'm blunt too. I ain't gonna lie, like I might come off a little closed-minded, but this is just how I convince myself of things. Like I have to challenge it or question it, sometimes even debate it. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm just headstrong. I'm open-minded as shit though.
You definitely should be asking questions though. But one thing to Prophet, and then I'm gonna drop. It's also a spiritual thing, right? Are you connected to African culture? Like everything spiritual that they could never take away from us, right? So kind of, dive deep into yourself as well and figure out how are you spiritually connected, right? So I'm connected to a lot of furs, leathers, not saying they didn't have that in Africa, but I watched my grandfather carry these things, you know what I mean? So, it's also a very spiritual experience as well, deeply.
Hey, Darby, I have a question for you, man. Can you find my Bigby family? I've already found them. I want to see if you can find them too. On entries.com. You're on it right now.
Yeah, I'm on like what you want, what you like. All right, let's see. John, give me a name and give me a name.
Bigby. B-I-G.
I need a first name and last name, sir.
Okay.
And a
Thomas
date of birth.
Bigby.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
you got.
Oh shit! I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot. We on live. Never mind.
You don't want to just give
Never mind.
I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't even gonna say nothing about that. You could probably just block the
Never
camera.
mind.
But
all right,
I was about to say
I'm related to the Bigby family from Oklahoma and the Greens. All my family come from West Virginia. Well, no, that's in the Greens. All my family come from West Virginia. Well, no, that's Carolina family come from I'm talking about both sides. Georgia and Tennessee. Some from North Carolina and some from South.
I'm in North Carolina right now.
A lot of them are still in West Virginia. A lot of them are still on my mom's side. Most of them are still in West Virginia. Some of us are right here in Columbus, Ohio. It's like a few hundred. But the rest of them, I have my great aunt said I have about at least 3,000 cousins or so in Tennessee right now. That's where my dad's side of the family is originally from.
If you know all your
Tennessee
family,
and Georgia.
what family are you looking for?
Huh?
If you know all your
I
family,
was looking what I was looking for is when I looked at the Bigby family tree, they were classified as white. I want to know because I know how that is. Classification of white can mean
you're white.
No. It means that you're the owner of the land. That's what white is. That's a social construct. When you are labeled as let me explain this to you. When you have labels like black or white, right? It's a social construct, which means that which means that if you're labeled as white tea, that means you're the owner. Okay? When you're labeled as black, that means you're the prisoner, POW, which is a prisoner of war. You know what I'm saying? On your own land. So when you understand census records, right? What is a census record? A census record is this. People come to your property. They want to know who's the owner, what's your occupation, how old you are, and everybody else in the house. Now, I have a question. Why would they put down your skin color. Why in the F would they put down your skin color? It's a class system
Yeah, I know
of
that part.
occupation. Do you get what I'm saying? So when Walter Plecker went back into our records, they were pushing the narrative that they were talking about skin color, but it had nothing to do with it because there's a such thing called black codes. If you are labeled as black, that means that you're a prisoner, which means that you cannot own any property. So the people who are responsible for this is a lot of people that was like in the Canadian areas, okay, who was doing a lot of horrible stuff on this land. Period. You can't own no land over here. We separate.
Yep.
And this is the people that is labeled themselves as so many names. These are people who do the P. Diddy shit.
Hey, bro, where the hell Haley go?
Huh?
She dropped off. She said she might be back later.
I like Haley, man. She understand me. You know what I'm saying? She know how to talk to me. You know
Yeah, she do.
Oh, that the way he's saying that, he about to hit the inbox. Like, give me your number.
I need that.
Say y'all was looking for
Haley.
The guy
What's
that
up?
just left.
What's up, Crystal?
Y'all want hoes.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, Shug. Hey, Shug. Hey, guys. How everybody doing?
All right, how you doing? I ain't even heard from you, I see.
Yeah, what's
I'm
up,
not gonna hold
ICIC?
you though, bro. I'm not gonna hold you though, bro. People,
Hey, look, hey, I know y'all on this right here, so I ran away too. I made somebody that's real boisterous shut up, and somebody else run away this morning on the TikTok world. It was funny to me. What
I'ma drop real quick.
what
I'll
the
be back a little
opposers at? I got some new turns for the opposers. What they at?
hey,
Oh, yeah.
this, bro. People in the comments saying, "Where's the African culture in America?" Like, I feel like people only. Brazil, they are eating the same exact food. They got a different name for the dish, but Africans have come to Brazil, visited, and confirmed it's like, oh, we eating the same thing. They eating the same food. Like, there's a lot of culture. The U.S. has probably the least amount of African culture.
Hey, can I share something real quick because I haven't heard from IC. Hold on, Crystal. There's this guy that just stepped up on the panel. His name Crew Cut. I sent him a message because him and his you know what I'm saying, partner Meta, they literally, he's gonna explain to you what they do. Go ahead, Crew Cut, and then I see you. Crew Cut, you there? Go ahead.
Peace. Same thing. What's his name? Osiris. Peace to you. I've been checking you out for like the last couple of days. We just do genealogy. We just.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm saying, like he said, he helped people in the community do genealogy. We do the same thing, but we don't do no one's genealogy. You have to have your own genealogy tree, and wherever you're stuck at, we help you get unstuck, like in real time. We just sit here and go through it and get you unstuck.
Is this a response to something?
No, it was like, if you needed help do your genealogy, we can help you get back there.
I got a question for you because you got Ancestry. You got Ancestry.com also.
We use it, but we use everything.
Multiple.
Like multiple different websites and other stuff.
Yeah.
There's other websites like that.
Right. So we use all the census.
So when y'all pay for like a membership on there or whatever, I don't know how it works. Are you able to look up other people, family background with that same membership?
Yeah, you can put you got your tree and they give you 4 more. You can do 4, like you can give it out to 4 other. They give you 4 more accounts.
You had said,
Let me add something to that real quick. It's best for you to like start writing down your family information and stuff. You know what I'm saying, on paper, right? And then they actually offer a 14-day trial, membership free. So like for 14 days, they could give you a free access to just get to it.
But I gotta put the card information in there, huh?
For a 14-day free trial.
You do, but they don't charge you until the 14 days is up.
I can give you some other game too. So check this, right? If you in school or you got anybody in your family that's in school, you can just Google Ancestry student membership, it will give you an account for $5 a month for up to a year, and it's the World Explorer version, not the US version.
Ancestry
That's about the
student.
best thing you better fucking get right there.
You said Ancestry student membership. As you said. All right, bet. All right.
And these are, I'll give you some other games too. Family Search is free and they can pull hella records. But beyond that, if you go to a Family Search center, you'll be able to get even more records. But I would advise you, if you don't know how to do genealogy, Family Search can be jarring. It's not really no AI capability to it.
Right.
So if you just starting off, Ancestry, but you can download your JCOM, do all type. There's so many different layers of genealogy. First of all, genealogy these records weren't meant for your genealogy. None of these records were meant for you to be able to trace your family. It just so happened that these records exist and you can utilize them to do your genealogy, if that makes sense.
What's up? What's up, Icy?
Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to chime in, say what's up with y'all. But I was on YouTube today and I came across this video, and tell me why we got this African that's hosting classes on how to sound more American.
Oh Lord.
I have a screenshot, and he's hosting like classes for people who are African to come over here and to sound more American. Basically, he's trying to give the code on how to speak in AAVE and shit like that, but he's making money off of it. And this is like some recent shit. I was watching a video, I thought it was like from 2010s because of the way that he was saying them slang words and everything like that. But turns out it's from this year. And I was flabbergasted.
He tries to teach Louisiana Creole. He tries to do a couple of different.
Oh hell nah.
You know him? You know the guy?
I don't know him, but I know who you're talking about. I've seen him. Yeah.
Oh hell nah.
He needs a wellness check in real life, but you know it is what it is.
Somebody in Texas saying yo, it's crazy. I say yo, and I ain't in Texas. Nah, but yeah, that is crazy. Yo, I've seen him. Cookie FBA.
All Africans use tortillas too in some type of form, bro.
Tortillas. Where they get the corn to make the tortillas from?
Bro, they got some type of dough, bro.
It's induced, like not induced. What's that?
Are you talking
about cassava?
You said
Speaking of cassava, like
injera. He talking about injera, bro.
Yeah, cassava sound familiar.
It's
you talking about fufu bread?
Yeah, that too.
You know where that come from, right?
Where it come from?
America.
How it come from America?
Were they training? Were they trading and stuff like that?
Fufu come from the cassava plant, like he was saying. So it's from America.
The cassava plant originates in the.
Not originally. They only had a few plants out in Africa, period. Most majority of
I don't know if you know that. So we actually export watermelon, yams, cassava leaf melon, yams, all of that. You gotta understand how to word things on the internet. If you use the internet, you have to understand what import and export really means. Yeah. And certain words like deposits or region, not regions, but reserves, or what they call it, producers. So like, for instance, California, it has the richest deposits of gold in the world, right? But South Africa, right, is the biggest producer of gold reserves. Reserves is like a bank. Mm-hmm. Producer means that you're the promoter, which means that you profit You get what I'm saying? So you got to understand what these words really mean and what they're really telling you. Importing, import and export. So like, for instance, there's this rich guy. He's the richest black man in the world, and he's a Nigerian. He has a company named Dangote, or Dang, however you pronounce it, but it's spelled Dangote, right? Now, he owns
I'll be back
a
here.
lot of companies. His company is actually a Pan-African company, right? They petroleum and cement from the Americas because they have a refinery in Nigeria, which means that when you understand when they put the word South Africa and Nigeria on there, like I'm telling you about the gold and the oil, they refine it. They even use their people to dig it up. So you have these Nigerians using their people to help extract the oil. So they refine it, you know what I'm saying, mix it up, whatever they do, and then they re-export it. You get what I'm saying? So when they get the gold deposits from South Africa, so think about how they say Ghana the Gold Coast, but California is. You feel what I'm saying? So that means that first of all, the fact that they have wildfires happening at the same time, just think about what I'm gonna say. These people export from our lands, put their name on it, because they refining it and then sell it back. So you basically making profit off of lands that don't even belong to you. I got all the documents. But go ahead. Anybody. Oh, somebody's trying to come back up. Who fell?
I'm
Prophet.
gonna show you guys what they were talking about when they said people be lying about records. Wait, give me 2 minutes. I'm just looking for the screenshot of the map. So I'm going to the original source. I couldn't find it in my screenshots, but as soon as I get that, I'll present it.
Okay. You where you at, Prophet? Did he come up here? Oh, did you want to ask something else?
I mean, just the whole Africa not having plants thing. As I mean, they export goods too. They got fruits and vegetables. They got the rubber tree.
No, they don't.
They got why they don't. I thought last time I checked, Africa had the rubber tree.
Okay, look, we know that everything that's coming out of our mouth is not taught in school. It's not being shown in church. None of that.
Taught that in
So
school.
no, listen to it. This ain't just for you, brother. This is for people who want to know, right? If you want me to, I could pull up the documentation for you. I could show you where everything originates, literally. Now, trust me, this is something I wasn't taught in school. The fact that my family has already known it, I was fortunate. But I've done my own due diligence. You know what I'm saying? I want us all, like everything that we saying, bro, I still want you to just not allow anybody to teach you their rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? You could write some stuff down and do the studying and stuff yourself, or screenshot the resources that we bring up. Now, I'm going to actually bring up some for you, okay?
I had a question for you, Prophet. When you go to the grocery store, where does it say the food is from?
I don't really check.
Don't do that. Where do you?
I'm being honest. I'm not checking where it's like what country it's from. I'm not checking.
Okay, that's something. Okay, that makes sense. But when you go to the store, when you buy fruits, vegetables, grains, seeds, check and see where it's from. And I'm saying that to say, if Africa had all of these naturally grown fruits and veggies that we get from them, why doesn't it say it's imported from them?
Okay, good point.
So
I'll check it out.
Just check that. And you got to remember, we have a lot of stuff that's indigenous to the Americas. All your berries are indigenous to here. Your blackberries, strawberries, your grapes are berries as well. So grapes are indigenous to here. Your watermelon, we have stuff here in Central America as well. It's tropical. That can't grow over there.
These are good points. These are great points.
Back off of original. Shout out to everybody. It's over 650 different species of fruits and vegetables that has been supplied to the world. Like if you look through different time periods of history, you'll hear of food from here that solved famines around the world. So you got to start really looking in within where you're from than to keep using this external sources to try and prove and debunk the actual history right beneath your feet. And like, bro, you like this is where that whole Darwinism really has a hold on people, because that's the out of Africa theory, Pangea, and evolution all tied into one. So you're basically trying to say that we evolved from monkeys and apes, which isn't true, because they wouldn't
Who's
exist.
saying that?
Case. Now I'm just saying, from that narrative of saying everybody originated from Africa is basically saying that we originated from monkeys and apes, which is
It
not
don't
true.
it don't say that. The further you go back into that
No.
research, though, it doesn't say that. It say
Bruh,
we all,
it
say
was
we all come
created by
from
the
a
same
common,
scientists.
not
Look it up.
yeah, but it say we all come from a common homogeneous something to
And
ancestors. So
that's
it don't.
why Darwin said that it was monkeys and apes.
Right.
He's trying to say that those primates are our closest cousins in the evolutionary chart, but they're still in their state. And we are what we are today. That wouldn't be the case if we all was here for millions of years, because even within the primate species, there's several species, several types of primates. You know what I'm saying? We got monkeys, orangutans, gorillas. Like I could go down the list. So we can't just sit there and say that this whole out of Africa theory, which is tied to evolution and Darwinism, because it's all from the same scientists.
Yeah, and can I say
You gotta
something?
really
Some
start breaking it down.
some animals do evolve from one another, though. And
Okay, hold on. Let me.
we see multiple interpretations of
Sir,
two totally different animals that evolve from a similar ancestor when it
do
comes to
you
other
do
animals.
you do you know what Homo sapien really means? Even the word HOMO. All of
What
it.
about
Hold on. All of it traces back to Lucy, which is a monkey, right? Now, you had this guy named Walsh White. His name is Walsh, right? This guy actually picked up the writings of Charles Darwin and actually lied on Charles Darwin. And I'm gonna tell you why. When you look into Charles Darwin, you will realize that he never stepped foot in Africa. Number one, he was in Australia, in the Americas. Okay, what he was doing was testing how animals evolved from their origins and how did they actually get smaller or bigger and things like that of sorts. Okay, he never came evolved from their origins and how did they actually get smaller or bigger and things that he was speaking of Pacific people who actually have that recessive gene in their body. The people who actually carry RH, I know you know about RH, right?
yeah?
Right. So when it comes to the understanding of the origin of plants and stuff like that, they had different names back then. Do you get what I'm saying? You can actually find the roots to everything. Now, we're not saying that other places don't have things now, but where they originate is literally here. Where they evolved was literally here. They started here. Everything brings you back to a point of the return. You get what I'm saying? There's always an origin to something, even when it comes to these languages. So I'm hoping that I'm just trying to get the receipts. I just stepped in, but go ahead. God, you were speaking.
I mean, at the end of the day, we just discussing ideas that I've been aware of since I was in like middle school. So I mean, I ain't. We just I can't say I'm learning anything, but we discussing things in this. I could say you enlightened, tried to look through that view before and just didn't want to stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so regardless, this is a good conversation worth having. I think the origins of the earth are very important. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I would like to know if I truly come from Africa, if we all started there, or if we all started in America, or if Black people weren't confined to one place at their beginnings. I don't know. So
Is my mic working? Okay, there it is. Okay, I can't find the map. I promise you it's posted on my page. I'm sure it is, but I was trying to look through my gallery, then I went on the original sources to try to find it. But all the map was a map of West Africa, and they circled it. But I have the writing of pretty much the contradiction, and I have all the screenshots and everything that I had with the work and everything. So we're gonna look and we're gonna see. Here, let me put myself on a big screen. We're gonna see if they're telling you an accurate description based off of, okay, your people they come from Africa or not. Because this is the only people that I found in my genealogy that could possibly be from Africa. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Makes sense.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, go watch a YouTube video and look at a Nigerian person taking a DNA test, and you will literally see them. They're
But
gonna
I
be
thought y'all was just telling me earlier how DNA don't matter and it can't.
it
tell
doesn't
you
matter.
that.
It can't tell you. But what I'm saying is, if it
It
could tell
tells you
you,
what the, okay, let me explain. Because you know, it's too much. It's too much information right now, right? And I don't even really want to answer this question, but I'm gonna answer it. When you understand, like me, I'm 43 years young. I don't know if you knew that, right? I am a massive study of when it comes to medicine and when it comes to actual studying maps, right? When you realize that okay, say like I said, Nigeria, right? Look up the root and when did it start? It starts from a lady named Flora Shaw. Flora Shaw married a guy named Lord Lagarde, okay? Now this guy, Lord Lagarde, I know this is too much. That's what I'm saying. Like all of this information is so new to you. I'm just trying to give you an understanding. The place where she got married at, the Duke Caliber Church, that's in Canada. She wanted to name that place Nigeria after the Niger River, right? When you realize where is the original Niger River, it's going to tell you it's in Canada. You get what I'm saying? So you have to literally get your mind out of these maps, because these maps that the U.S. have given people are political maps. They're not even landmass maps. The old world is the new world. So that's a deeper conversation. So if, as far as what Jay was speaking on, when they tell you that you're Nigerian, imagine that they're really talking about Ohio and Ontario. Look up Nigeria, Ohio. There's an actual place. Look up Africa, Ohio. There's an actual place. There's actually a Lagos, Ohio. Look up how Ohio is shaped just like Nigeria. Now that's a deeper understanding. Let's just move on though, because this is too much. Like I said, follow me. I'll break the stuff down. Go ahead, Bree.
Good evening, family. Good evening to everyone. I just wanted to, I had hopped on real quickly because as the brother seems to be having an issue with a lot of things, and you know, when I started to, you know, go down all of these rabbit holes and all the understanding, it was all completely shocking, not what I expected to find at all.
I'm sorry, Bree. I'm gonna let Crystal up. I'm gonna be in the comments.
Oh, okay. And you know, came into doing my genealogy completely expecting to find some African descent somewhere. I mean, bare minimum. And I'm up to the 1600s on both sides. There's no African in sight. And as I look more into it, it's just, you know, keeps making more and more sense.
You said you what on both sides?
Well, you know, mother, father, their mother, father, and on and on.
Yeah,
And
you
so
said, what'd you say you were? You said you something on both sides. Or did you not? Did you not say what race? I'm sorry, I might be.
I told you don't.
Oh no, yeah, I'm in.
You
Well,
be right on my pillow.
Hold on, Crystal.
Said she has not seen any act.
So on my mom's side, they are on the Indian rolls. They're from Louisiana and Mississippi and Tennessee. On my dad's side, they're Puerto Rican for the most part, and it basically goes down the Arawak Taino side. So
She's up to the 1600s on both sides.
Yeah, I seen it in the comments. That's the part I was trying to get her to repeat.
And so I know you were talking about, you know, these sites not being reliable. I just wanted to emphasize that it's not so much about the sites, because this is not the DNA part. It's not about doing DNA. When you go on the site, you might have family members that have already started their you know, going down the tree, but you're still making your own tree with your parents and this information. And as it pops up, it'll be like, you know, it'll show either their birth certificate or death certificate or a marriage certificate, and it'll say, does this look like the right person? And you can attach that document to the person, and it'll put them on your tree if you so choose. So as you go along, you'll be basically reading the documents that it presents, saying that you have this person, this is their mother and father, and then you'll be able to continue to go back as this is their mother and father. So there's always a record of the parents and who they are on their birth and death certificates. You'll be able to see military
Yeah, they
records,
should have
you'll be,
that.
and on and on. So it's not so much about the sites themselves being, and whether or not the sites themselves are reliable. It's the sources, and you just making sure that you're matching the people to the right things and putting them on your own tree.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all I wanted to
regardless,
say.
Hold on,
any,
1 second,
any,
1 second, 1 second. Keo wants to go. Like, let's keep the mics. Let's keep the mics flowing too. Like the same people been talking for like fucking for a while now. Like, let's keep the mics flowing. Go ahead, Keo.
Yeah, I would like to emphasize genealogy isn't restricted to like even these sites. It is a practice and a study that is very deep. Like there was just a Roots Tech event 2 weekends ago where you could have went there and linked up with all these different genealogical societies, even DNA companies, whatever. Genealogy in itself is very large, and it takes a lot. Most of the records, I mean, it's easy to attain like census records, birth certificates, death certificates, stuff like that on things like Ancestry and Family Search. But when you get deeper into it and you happen to start looking through like things which I brought up earlier, like wills and probates, and finding out that a lot of things aren't even uploaded online yet, or you might have to link up with different genealogical historical societies to get information. It's a lot of boots on the ground work as well. So I wouldn't restrict the thought frame to just Ancestry because that's very limited.
For sure.
Anybody who can't trace their ancestry past the 1500s don't really got enough evidence to denounce anything. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's fair, but they also don't have enough evidence to announce something as well. It's just 50-50. But I also want to add this for Jay.
I could kind of answer to what Prophet was.
I want to just say this real quick, CR, and I'm gonna be done. Jay Bird, I don't know if you looked at the full text search function on Family Search. I think it's fairly new, where they uploaded tons of documents, but they're still trying to transcribe them. So they're allowing the public to go through these records, and you can use keywords. You might be able to find some information regarding those ancestors using keywords in the full text function on Family Search.
Okay, no, I have not tried to do that yet. No.
Also, just one thing, you say if you're not going beyond the 1600s, well, we're talking about, supposedly the transatlantic slave trade supposedly started in 1619, and that was only a few people that would have come in at that point in time frame. So, and it supposedly didn't amp up until many years after that. So if I'm already past that time frame and where they would have been coming in and out, then we're not talking about people, and we're in what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at are people that owned land, people that were they were not whitey people. So
the transatlantic slave trade started in 1500s.
No, it not in America. No, it did not. Not here.
The transatlantic slave trade, they went to South America first. Why they did not start in America?
Let's say something. You know what?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about they went to South America first. If they couldn't get to America, how they get to South America? It's still the same Atlantic Ocean, and the gyres don't go that way. The current don't work like that.
I'm not trying to say none of this stuff that they claiming is true. I'm just saying what they have written down in these.
What the hell?
Who keep muting me?
More clarity, brother, to
Ahmad,
the history that you're wanting to seek out beyond the 1500s. There are mounds, burial mounds all over this country that predates these arrivals. You know what I'm saying? Going back to 400 years BC. So it's in this artifacts that they've unearthed here that's over 120,000 years old. So it's a deeper history here in North America
that they don't want us to know about. That's why they keep trying to disassociate us. That's why all of these reclassifications. That's why all of these influxes of my immigrants that we keep seeing happening, even up to this point in time in history, which we just went through a open border invasion, not 4 years ago. You heard me? So when we get to really looking at the history of what these people been doing as they came here and really waking up all aspects, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the education, which you're currently dealing with right now, we haven't even gotten to the religious aspect. We haven't even talked about the medical apartheid malpractices that they've had. You know what I'm saying? Well, that kind of, and we kind of talked about the science a little bit. We haven't even dove into how deeply rooted in deception that is, that was created by these YT people that we keep trying to use their talking points to remove us from our true claim of being the heirs of this land. Because I had said earlier on in the comments, like they even wrote in their own in the Constitution, you know what I'm saying, that if you was a enslaved African, you can't own land. But when I did my genealogy going back to 1500s on some lines, but on my main lines, of all I'm finding is grandfathers that own land patents that's showing that they own hundreds of acres apiece. So when we really get to diving into who we truly are in the history of these places, because a lot of my ancestors that I'm finding are older than what a lot of these places are what we call them today. So you got to start looking into the treaties to see how the land got carved up, or how it might have been taken from your people, how they might have ended up sharecroppers, how they might have been forced on the Indian Removal Act, which caused them to end up here in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of parts of this history that need to be looked at. Was your people by Black Wall Street? Did they found a Black Wall Street? All of this history is there. It's documented. You just got to put in a little more footwork than just believe in this education that we all receive.
Hey, bro,
I was once a victim of it too. Even though I've been had my doubts earlier on, it's just got reconfirmed with somebody got a hot mic.
Yeah,
I'm
about to let y'all
my genealogy and showing how when we get to doing our records and stuff, I only found one person that may possibly be from Africa, and that's all, and I'm over 1,000 people, and I only found one, and I don't have any information on that person. So I'm kind of like in the same situation as Jay Bird, but I ain't have somebody do my genealogy. I just went back as far as I can, and that was my Carolina line, Crystal, that I'm gonna need your help with. You did, because that's why I keep asking you about certain names, because I'm running into dead ends out that way. But once you start doing that research, it'll really make more sense, and you can unlearn a lot of the stuff that we've all been taught, and we're dealing with it when we see these Africans and everybody else that come here or that's on the outside looking in that receive that same education and have a perception of us.
I get it, bro. At the end of the day,
hold on. 1 second. I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. Let me turn the comments on. I really don't. I'm about to wrap this thing up. 2 hours out. But yeah, thank y'all for the follows. Thank y'all for the likes, the gifts, and everything. Follow me on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Is Darwin Osiris everywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and things like that. Hit me up if you want to join my Discord.
Can I make a closing statement?